Things that go bump in the night.
Judy and Miguel are chatting on their way to class. Miguel, you look so tired. Were you up late studying?
I just had a bad night's sleep.
How come?
Well, I'm now living on a very busy corner.
I know how that can be. Loud traffic, bright lights.
It's not just that. It happens to be a very windy corner.
What does that have to do with it?
One gust of wind, and whoop, whoop, all the car alarms go off. These days, it seems like all cars come equipped with alarm systems.
But I didn't know wind could trigger them.
Believe me, it can. On windy nights, I'm more awake than asleep.
How terrible to be robbed of your sleep like that.
Yeah, it's worse than having your car burglarized.
Gee, I'm a wreck without a good 8 hours of sleep.
You mean your beauty sleep?
Your words, not mine.
Last night, I finally did get to sleep, but then this garbage truck drove up.
And woke you up again?
Yep. Bang! Boom! Smash! I was wide awake because of the racket of garbage cans scraping along the sidewalk.
You poor thing. No wonder you're dragging your feet.
I don't know if I can stand it any longer. One more bout with things that go bump in the night, and I'm finished. How's it at your dorm? Noisy too?
Miguel, my dorm makes your place sound like the library.
Don't tell me you're on a noisy corner too.
It's not noisy outside, it's noisy inside.
What do you mean?
People come and go at all hours of the night at the dorm, and the walls are paper thin.
But you look so rested. How do you manage to sleep at night?
Let me introduce you to my best friends. They're called earplugs.
Taking a cab uptown.
Lee and Judy are standing on a downtown street corner.
I have to take a cab uptown to meet my mom.
Did you win the lottery or something?
No, I'm just late. Want to share a cab? My treat. Mom will pay me back.
Great. I hardly ever take a cab.
Hey, maybe we'll catch one of those new vans.
How classy. Being chauffeured uptown in a yellow minivan?
Quit teasing and be on the lookout.
The street's a sea of yellow, but not an empty cab in sight.
Look, there's one.
Yoo-hoo! Taxi!
Judy, that's not how you hail a cab.
Huh?
Get out there where he can see you.
Taxi! He spotted us.
Judy?
Yeah?
You'd better step back up now, unless you want to get run over.
They get into the taxi.
Where to, ladies?
2 stops, please. 63rd and 5th, and...
77th and Park Avenue.
So much for a nice new minivan.
We can't be choosy.
You're right. It's just good to sit.
And sit. And sit. Boy, this traffic's heavy.
Yeah, they call it rush hour, but we're not moving an inch.
You're right. The only thing that's moving is the meter. They arrive at their first destination.
Excuse me, driver? Could you drop me off at the next corner?
Which side of the street?
Left side, please. The far left corner. So, here's the money for the fare.
I hate having to pay. I never know how much to tip the driver.
Figure around 15%. And don't forget to get a receipt.
Maybe I should just get out with you.
What's the big deal?
I'm just not used to taking a taxi, that's all.
You're such an amateur. Next time it's the bus for you.
Lost and returned.
Lee meets her mother Carrie where she works.
Lee, you look so panicked. What happened?
I'm so mad at myself. I left my wallet in the cab.
Oh, Lee, how awful.
Well, that's the last I'll see of it.
Let's not lose our heads now. Someone may have turned it in.
You're right. Or the cab driver may still have it.
Do you have the receipt?
Judy paid the fare. But I did remind her to get one.
Call her right away.
Lee calls Judy on the phone.
Judy, I left my wallet in the cab.
Your wallet? I didn't notice anything on the seat.
It must have dropped on the floor as I was getting out.
Well, I saved the receipt.
Thank heavens.
It's got the number of the Taxi and Limousine Commission.
Give me the driver's medallion number. I'll call him right now.
Wouldn't it be better to wait until he's off duty to call?
I'm way too anxious.
Lee puts in a call to the Taxi and Limousine Commission.
TLC, how can I help you?
I lost my wallet in a cab this evening.
Well, we can't contact the driver right now, but give me the information and we'll get back to you.
I'm so glad I saved the receipt.
That is a big help.
How long will it be before I hear from you?
By tomorrow. And you know, we also have a website, so you can always reach us online.
It's nice to know that the TLC is so accessible.
Later that night, the phone rings.
Hello? Is this Lee Parker?
Speaking.
You don't know me, but I think I have your wallet.
Is this the TLC?
No, but I was in a cab tonight, and there it was.
My wallet?
On the floor. With your ID, credit cards, everything.
I don't know what to say.
And get this, I live down the block.
Incredible! You deserve a reward.
Thank you, will do.
Oh, thank you. I'll be right over.
650 miles of track.
Lee, Miguel, and Uncle Bill are studying a subway map.
This still looks like a bowl of pretzels to me.
Well, the New York City subway system is rather complex.
With over 650 miles of track.
I'd say it's pretty amazing, Lee.
Oh, I don't know. Red lines, yellow lines, green lines. It's all so confusing.
Guess what? If you laid these tracks end to end, they would stretch all the way to Chicago.
I don't want to go to Chicago. I want to get to Grand Central Station.
That's a no-brainer. Take the number 1 to 42nd Street, then take the shuttle across.
Whatever. I'll just follow you two.
This isn't just a transportation system. It's a modern marvel.
In that case, can't they do something about the smell?
Besides, there aren't many subway systems that run 24 hours a day.
Not to mention, it's the 5th largest system in the world.
And practically the oldest.
I believe you. This station looks like it's falling apart.
Bill and Miguel continue defending the subway system.
Lee, what do you have against the subway?
Well, it's underground, for one thing.
The subway's more predictable than midtown traffic.
It's so much faster than taking a taxi.
But I don't have to climb these stairs.
Think of it as exercise.
How can I? There isn't a breath of fresh air down here.
Remember when the cars were covered with graffiti?
Now that was original art.
Personally, I think the new cars look pretty slick.
Speaking of new, the MetroCard has really simplified things.
Yeah, transferring is a snap.
And with its discounted fares, commuting is cheaper.
But I miss the tokens.
Lee, I don't think the MTA could do anything to make you happy.
From an environmental perspective, Jeff, bicycles are the vehicles of choice for commuting in the future. But I'm appalled at how selfish people are about parking their bikes. Bikes have become a hazard for pedestrians, especially for the elderly who have to maneuver their way around these park bikes. I think all bicycle owners need a lesson on etiquette.
And all city planners need a lesson in environmental studies. Maybe then they would start building cities for people instead of for cars. And that just might include more places around stations for people to park their bicycles.
Yes.
But tell me, Marcia, why do you see bicycles as the future vehicle of choice?
The 3 E's, Jeff. Exercise, environment, and economy. They're cheap. Of course, as you say, it'll take some remodeling of our cities.
Well, China is particularly famous for its urban cyclists, but more and more Chinese are opting for automobiles when they have a chance. And people in so-called developed countries are concerned that this is going to cause serious pollution, as if we ourselves don't do the same thing.
Right. But I assume that in big cities like Shanghai, old abandoned bicycles are a major waste problem too.
They are. There's definitely a downside for bikes as well. That's why I tend to think mass transit supplemented by bicycles and pollution-free cars will be the wave of the future, especially here in Asia where you have densely populated areas.
Well, we've already witnessed tremendous changes in mass transit. I mean, just look at how many trains are now connected to subways.
That's true.
It'll probably be much easier to go from point A to point B on one train in the future. Or maybe they'll just transfer us onto environmentally sound conveyor belts.
But tell me, Marcia, will we get to choose the color of our conveyor belts? Well, on that silly note, let's turn our attention to Cityscape.